Hello and welcome back to another episode of UnorthoBlocks. My name is MightyHigh and I hope you guys are having an awesome day. So the last episode we made this furnace array here, and yeah, I kind of forgot a couple of things, didn't I? One was the collection system, and also the redstone needed a bit of jiggling, and also I've added a few more bits to it. So let's go through what we've done since the last episode, because it hasn't really been much. But here I've added an on and off switch for the bamboo farm over there to stop that hopper clock. So this is just a massive redstone line basically over to there. So this redstone line goes and powers one of them hoppers, which stops that clock. Then we've got another redstone line which comes out of this hopper here. So when this hopper is completely full, so I mean completely full, not even like one left. So if I can't add any more, but yeah, basically if that's how much is in there, geez, there's a lot of backflow. But if there was empty slots in this hopper, that would be off. And then all this does is, because last episode we had a problem with how the bamboo was getting in this hopper and this hopper, so it would be going in one hopper but not the other. So this, I've added some droppers and some water, so it just swaps the water around. So if this was off, let's just power it again, for example, it swaps the water there, you see, and then the bamboo will be going into these hoppers here. So let's just show you that. I'll chuck them in and they go into that hopper, and then if we just power this again as it was, then I chuck some more in and they go into the other hopper, as you've just saw there. So that's basically all I've added since the last episode, and this redstone is really quite simple. It's basically just a comparator, and I've got a bookshelf there with a book on page 14. So that's giving a comparator, and this comparator's on subtract mode, so it just gives a one output depending on how many items are in this hopper. I don't quite understand the maths, but yeah. And then we've just got this. So I haven't really tested this yet. I've got some stone on me we can test it with. So let's chuck this at. Do I even have a minecart and chest? I probably don't, knowing me. Can I even make one is the question. Oh yeah, I've also been sorting out these chests. Basically, we had a massive backlog of iron, and we also had a major backlog of roses as well. So I've just been converting all these roses into bone meal. It looks like they're finished now, I think. Yeah, it looks like it. Oh no, we still got this one to go. So we've still got a full chest there, a bit of a chest there. Alright, so we got our minecart and hopper now. I should probably move that back a bit, but it doesn't really matter. We can put that there, and let's just make a stone button just for the purposes of this demonstration. Then we can chuck all the stone in there. Let's fill it up completely. Why not? We might have one stone missing, but it doesn't matter too much. Oh no, we're stack off still. Right, so we got a full minecart and chest with stone, so theoretically when I push that button it should keep going around until it empties, and then it should come back here when it's empty. So fingers crossed, let's hope this works. Well, the furnaces are turning on, that's good, and straight away we've got a problem. Yep, straight What's going on here? Am I that dumb that I've completely forgot about the rail track here? How could I have done that? Oh. Right, so I've fixed the minecart track now, so that's there, and I've also put some hoppers underneath so we can collect all the drops. So hopefully, fingers crossed, because that should still have loads of items in it, shouldn't have lost much. Oh yeah, you can't shift click onto it. Can I even, let me just see how much you've got in you, please. Yeah, literally like hardly any. So this should hopefully just go back and forth if we give it a little nudge. Please get out. Yep. Nice. Yeah, I was just a bit worried about this bit of redstone here, but it looks like it's working fine. Yep. Nice. And then all our stuff is smelted. Good, good. Nice, nice. And the chest is just here at the moment. Yep. Awesome. I'm actually surprised this is working first try. With everything together, at least, anyway. Especially this redstone circuit. I'm surprised at that one as well. Obviously it works, but for me, coming up with stuff like this doesn't normally work first time. But it does. The only one I am a bit dubious about is this furnace here, but it actually seems like it's working. Because you can see that I've had to put a block over this bookshelf. So, but that's still receiving items, so that's working really quite well. Awesome. So we can call this project kind of done for now. I mean, the bamboo in general isn't really a good fuel source. We do need a better fuel source for this. So maybe if we can hook up a tree farm to this blast chamber here. Or even have another blast chamber close to it and then feed it in. But I think that's for another day because I've been busy, ladies and gentlemen. Not just here since the last episode, but also at my main base as well. So once this is all done, I'm going to fly to my base. And while I'm doing that, let's show you a time lapse of what we've been up to. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. This certainly took a long time to do. I think that was like 10 hours worth of time lapse footage rolled into about 5 or 6 minutes, so it's quite a long time lapse, but I sure hope you enjoyed it, and I certainly had a lot of fun doing this, although obviously it's not 100% complete because we've still got like a load of dirt here that needs grassing up, and then all these dirt pillars here, all these like cliff areas, I'm going to actually terraform properly. But this is a really good start for what I plan to do around here. So obviously we've got our massive tower here, but I'm going to have another big tower over in this area, and then another one over on that platform as well, I think. And then over here where this stone is, this is the only area I haven't terraformed yet, because we're going to have a volcano here, which is going to be awesome. So that's the area marked out there anyway. So that's the plans, and then underneath we've got a lot of room still, so we can play around with a lot of stuff, and I've got some really cool ideas as well for what we can do down here, because we've already made a start over there really, so we can continue that kind of theme off down here. And obviously we're going to have like cliffs around the edges as well, so over where it meets the sea we are obviously going to terraform this whole lot as well. So we've still got a lot of work to do, but we've got the foundations in now, so we're making some good progress. So tell me what you think about this place and what you would actually put here if you had the choice, because it'd be cool to see what you guys think. I've got some really cool ideas as well, but we're probably not going to be able to get most of them done today. I might see if I can get a few bits of planning done, probably just roads and stuff like that around here for now, but that's probably about it. But I do have 2 shulker boxes full of smooth stone now, and also almost a full inventory of cracked stone bricks, because I think these materials are really good together and we can make some really cool stuff with that. This is not the only materials we're going to be working with. I think we're going to be using some concrete and a lot of quartz in other builds, because as I say, we're going to section this off into 3 separate what would you call them, factions or species. So we're going to have the orcs and the goblins in this tower, and then over in this direction we're probably going to have elves, so that's going to involve a lot of quartz. And I was thinking maybe we can just have the goblins have their own structures underneath here instead, because it kind of makes sense really. We can play around with a lot of stuff underneath here. Obviously we've got a lot of mooshroom mycelium to get rid of, but it's not beyond the possibilities. So we could only have 2 civilizations on the top, so we have an elven civilization over here, and then where this volcano is we can have like a human-ish civilization, and then we can have like a wall dividing these 2, and then over here from probably about this point onwards, this dividing line here, we can have another wall separating the goblins, because they probably won't need much room. And then I have gone into the desert a bit over here, but it's not too much of a problem, because we can just basically cover this in goblin builds and it will look pretty cool once it's done. So that's the idea of this base. I know I've gone through it a few times, but for them new people, and because we've done quite a lot of terraforming, I thought I'd just go through it properly and somewhat within detail. So now we've got that out the way, I think the next thing to do is probably to get some junk blocks and just mark out the dividing lines between the goblins, the elves and the humans, or Probably not humans. Let's make it more fantasy, like wizards or something like that anyway. So we've got 3 different blocks to mark out the 3 different walls. So let's get cracking on this and I'll catch you guys in a minute. Right, so I think I've got a rough outline on how I'm going to divide the different races that are going to reside here. So as I say, we've got the polished andesite to represent the goblin land, then the stone bricks to represent humans or the wizards, not quite sure yet, and then the iron to represent the elves or the elvish land. So obviously nothing's here, but this is just a rough idea of how much land and how much space I'm going to give them all. So across these borders we're going to have a dividing wall that separates all 3 races, I think, and then in the middle we're going to have like a no man's land, but instead of a no man's land we can have like, there's a dividing wall on this side and a dividing wall on this side, so we can have like little huts and then a massive path going all the way into these, I reckon, and then we can have like portcullises on each of the separate races for the entrance of them. So I think this is a really cool idea, and it's also going to involve mixing quite a few different build styles. So I've got a really cool build palette for one of the races, which is the elves, so that would be quartz and stuff like that. Humans, probably bricks and stuff like that, and then we've also got our designs for the goblins. Have I got rockets? I do have rockets. Although I've got loads of ideas in my head, it's probably a good idea to actually sit down and plan and put some stuff together. So I thought of an idea, and we could like dig ourselves a little room and call it our planning room for what kind of builds and stuff we're going to put around, like blacksmiths, carpenters and stuff like that. And also the castles, obviously. Another thing I did think of, it's not too late, but it's a bit of a shame, is a map room as well, because it would have been cool if I actually got some maps before this was built of the actual island, and then listed the progression throughout, but unfortunately my brain didn't think about that until just now. Which kind of defeats the purpose. So what I might do from probably next episode is make a map of this whole area, and then we can see the progression from there, really, because this is just the blueprints of what we've got. Apart from this tower, we've still got a lot to do. So with that, let's find ourselves a space we can dig out, most likely close to my storage system, so we can do a bit of planning. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So I think I've gone a bit overboard since the last clip, to be fair, because I was only going to punch out a little room to do a bit of planning, but if you can just see behind me, just barely, you can see a button there. So yeah, even I find it hard to find the button in this lighting, which is kind of cool. I didn't realise you could hide a button like that, but dark lighting hides buttons. Anyway, we press it out. We press it and we get thrown back. No, we press the button and then we go into like a little hallway, and then this is the room that I've been building, and I've spent too long on this, mainly the maps, but this room as well. It looks quite clean in comparison. So we have 3 different maps, 2 large maps, one locked and one not locked, and then this is the large map of our base so far. So I should probably lock this map and then duplicate it on maybe this wall, and then use the other duplicate as a map for the progression, I guess. And then we could probably lock it every now and then, depending on progression, I guess. So every quarter of the base we lock it or something like that, I guess. But for now, I think this is going to be it. So yeah, so I was planning to do a bit of planning. Yeah, I was planning to put a load of signs on the walls to plan out what we're going to be building, but I think I'm going to leave that for next episode, because unfortunately I am out of time for this episode. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. So if you like this video, then please click the like button, and if you really liked it, then click the subscribe button and ding that bell for further uploads. I've been MightyHigh, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.